Show, Peter G. Show, Peter G. Show, Peter G. Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G. Show.
Whoa, and good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. Another week gone by. Quick. It's a rainy weekend once again in L.A., and the Peter G. Show, Life with Peter G., live in a undisclosed location in Burbank, California. I love you guys. I want to tell you that every week it is just amazing to me. And again, I can't be more thankful. You don't know how important it is for me, the true fans. I just can't express it enough. I'm very, very thankful for you guys because there's a lot of baloney in the world. There's a bunch of bullshitters, you know. And again, I'm going to get wound up already. Instagram, I'm so desperate. Not desperately trying to build it up, but I want to build it up because Instagram is a really big part of Facebook and vice versa, but it's such crap. And I don't know what it takes to be popular there, but I don't give a shit. I mean, I got through telling my people that we're going to do it, and I rather, again, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'd rather have hundreds of solid people than thousands or tens of thousands of people that don't give a shit, don't pay attention, don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I'm in for the long haul. This face is not going anywhere. I've been at it too long in my life, and I love what I'm doing, and I'm not stopping. So one way, shape, or form, we're getting out there. I mean, Instagram isn't the end of the world, but it's a part of the social media thing, and I have to do it. And I got no problem with it, except for the fact of I just think it's a facade in so many ways. Everybody's an entrepreneur. It's bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. I'm going to tell you right here, even this show, it's a struggle. Thank God I have my sponsors, Bolt Energy, who put me in this hot seat. And there's a lot of pressure here because I told them I'm going to help you guys if you help me. And Bolt Energy right now, seconds before we got on the air, they're in New Orleans pushing Bolt Energy, working it. It's Mardi Gras. And happy Mardi Gras to my Gulf Coast friends. I love you guys. I wish I was there. I have no beads, and I had some great beads, but they're packed away somewhere in storage still. I haven't broke them out. There's really no need. Nobody gets it out here in California. But the thing is, somebody called me today, a close friend of mine, earlier this afternoon, to tell me, hey, and I really enjoy your show. Called me on the hotline. And he says, hey, you going to wear some beads? And it's like, shit, didn't even think about it. And good luck trying to get some beads out here because it just they don't get it. And, you know, it just is what it is. But anyway, happy Mardi Gras to my southern portion of the United States, friends, family, and fans. I love you guys more than you can know. Well, actually, as you know, I say it every day because I'm that guy. I'm not full of shit. If either you like me or not, if you don't like me, whatever. But I'm doing this for everybody, and I enjoy it, and that's what it is. But, again, I could not do it if it was not for Bolt Energy. They were brave enough to let me get in here and go for it and do whatever it is you do. We believe in you. And I actually believe in them because Bolt Energy, these guys, I've known what do I want to call him, the president of Bolt Energy. He's a true guy. He's got a workout regimen. He's just disciplined. And when he sets his mind to something, he does it. And this was years ago when we talked about it. And he said, I'm going to get an energy drink. It's going to be better than other people's energy drink. And he put it together. It took him several years, just like me, but he got it together. And here we are both together. And why Bolt Energy? Number one, there's no preservatives, okay? And it's enriched with vitamins and antioxidants, and it's just a cleaner energy drink. I need that. We all need it. You start getting older, you need that little kick in the ass. Not like the youngins don't drink this stuff like it's going out of style, but it's good stuff. So if you don't mind, and it's kind of like a fluorescent green. It glows in the dark. I know. Keep it off. They're looking at me going because I was aiming towards one of the mixers. Don't open it up near the gear, but it tastes good. I can't tell you what it tastes like, but it's pleasant. I can tell you that much. And it actually has a green glow to it, and with a black light, for bartenders and things like that, making exotic drinks, it actually has a glow-in-the-dark effect, and it's kind of cool. But I like the taste of it. You don't have to drink 80 million ounces of it, and it works, okay? It just gives you just enough, doesn't get you all crazy and stuff. Again, sugar-free. It's coming. I'm reading right now because we're a little, as people start to come on board, I can still read. I got 5-6 screens, and it is what it is. And I'm going to take a sip real quick, okay? So here's to Bolt Energy, and thank you for putting me here. I can't tell you how much I like being here because I love doing this with you guys. I need your participation, though. 818-259-7983. Without the phone calls, this show, you can hear me talk on the regular shows, on my regular Peter G shows, which specializes in surviving divorce and single parenting. This show is all about what you want to get off your chest, and we'll talk about that in a second, okay? So I'm going to start slowing it down a little bit. But this is what it's all about, people. So let's take a sip and take a breath. Woo! It's chilled, too. Nice and cold. I like it. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you, for those of you who are watching and give a shit, with Facebook, why I chose to do this on Facebook, there's a thing called a watch party. If you think anything of me and will help me, hit the share button. And I want to do this because I want to do this myself. And they're leaving too much responsibility. And I wish you guys would do this so I don't have to think. But there we go. So there's a share button. So you hit the share button. And then when you hit the share button, they tell me that it says, do you want to make a watch party? Something like that. And I'm going to find out right now. Share. So you hit the share button, and it says share with friends, share in a message, start a watch party. That's what it says, okay? And you hit the watch party, and it's going to go out to your friends. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you're cool enough to pay attention to me, okay? If you're cool enough to pay attention to me, you'll do this because there's people that you don't even know that need to talk about stuff and do this, and you might be helping them, okay? I'm not out to solve the world or anything like that, but I am determined to build this sucker up to where we get some really good, crazy conversations. I've got women that have been threatening me, again, all week long, and I forgot to remind them. And again, I think there's going to be eventually some very interesting conversations. We've had some already, but it is what it is. You cannot build Rome in a day. And hang on one second. I want to do this one, too. There's got to be a watch party here, too. So the thing is, with this, if you hit the watch party, you're sharing it with people that are on your friends lists, and I promise you, there's somebody out there needing this. They need somebody to hang with, somebody they've had something they want to talk about, but they don't talk about it with their friends or relatives or this and that, and that's why I am here. Life with Peter G. We're going to talk about it, okay? I'll talk about anything you want to talk about that's bugging you. Tonight, we're going to talk about challenges. I'm hoping somebody gets the balls up to talk about why they're beating you feel like you're beating your head up against the wall. And, I read a lot of this stuff and comments, and somebody was talking about that isn't it supposed to get easier as you get older, because, challenges one after another. And it's like, no, not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Life sucks in certain ways, and you get some people that learn how to take the good with the bad, and some people, it's just never ending. But that's the whole deal. That's why I want to talk about it. You're not alone, and that's what I want to do. I just feel that if I can help, not even help, but help. That's the only way you can say it. Make people feel that they're not alone, because you're not. I'm going to take Exhibit A right here. Me. Never ends. I mean, I've created some of this havoc because I've taken on this challenge to build this show. I want to take this to network TV, whether it's streaming, Netflix, Amazon, you name it. There's a need. especially when I get into my deeper categories about surviving divorce and single parenting. I just talked, there's this woman in Canada. She was saying that the divorce rate is about 50%. And I texted her, I said, I beg to differ. It's 67%. Everybody's divorcing. You got a problem, it's like, screw you, I quit. Nobody hangs. And children get caught in the middle, and it really bugs the shit out of me. And I'm telling you, I'm getting really soft. I'm having a hard time watching sensitive videos, whether it's animal stuff or I don't know. Maybe I'm getting low on the testosterone. I don't think so, as far as I can tell, but it just bothers me. It just bothers me because I care. I guess I've become more aware of things that should be taken care of in life because life really is short. And I want to hear from you guys. I don't care if you want to call me and say, hey, Peter, there's people that I know that call in and they say, Peter, I don't want to call you. And I get it. But I appreciate it. But the bottom line is I need somebody to get off the pot. The last week was a challenge. Maybe it was after Grammy night, whatever the hell it was, but it was tough. I mean, I could sit here and talk for an hour, but I rather talk to you. I rather have you talk to me. 818-259-7983 is the number. Be brave. Call me. I know you're here, and I love you for it. Thank you, Janet. Again, I can read now because it's actually pretty slow. Sometimes it starts flying. People start texting, and that's the whole thing. If you want to text, talk to me. I mean, everybody's got problems. It's not like it's a secret. And who's listening anyway? It's just us. Just us. And I'm very grateful for that. March 3rd. It's March already. Daylight savings time. Is it next week? I think. We're going back to starting to get a little more daylight and things like that. It's rainy, crappy over here still. We need the rain, but it's been a lot more so than normal. I wouldn't call it El Nino like we had in the 90s, but it's a lot of snow, and we need that because that's how California gets its water. But we're so spoiled over here, and it's raining with sugar. We're going to melt, but it is what it is. 818-259-7983. I'm asking you, and again, my bad because there was a few people once again threatening to call me, but they said just remind me, and I can't do that. It is what it is. But I appreciate the ones who do take the time, who pay attention, and again, it's also during the week. I get a lot of people that are watching afterwards because I get it that in some parts of the country it's late night, but you can grab a drink. I'm spelling it out for you now. Grab something, get comfortable, get cozy, and pay attention. Just watch the show for an hour and then turn it off and go to bed. But we're gonna get to a point where people start opening up and telling me and telling you things that you can easily relate to. But that's the hard part, and everybody keeps saying, and I got my closest, my circle of people, and they're just like, just keep going. We got to get, number one, we got to get everybody used to me being here every Sunday night. Easier said than done. I'm telling you, even for me, it's a challenge. I race. I used to, my Sundays were whatever, and whatever happens. It's Sunday, right? But I chose Sunday to wind down and go to work and wind down with you. And so that's where it's at. Hello? Well, let me see. Can you guys read that? I can't read that. What's the topic tonight? Oh, hey! Hello, April. April, the topic tonight is challenges. And I haven't gotten to a point where I want to have topics. And here's the reason why. I can't even get people to call in to talk about anything, let alone start, narrowing the bottlenecking it down. But challenges, because here's what I read. I read through the week. I have to be social media-ish. And the problem is that I read somebody I'm close to, known them for years, and she said, why? Isn't it supposed to get easier from as you get older? Why? Usually, you start growing, but as you get older, things should start coming together. And apparently, for this person, it's still a struggle. And I get it. Totally get it. It's not necessarily that way. Life has changed. Life is a bitch. Hi, my name is Peter. We talk about it, okay? So I guess so. If you want to talk about what's the topic, why? If I tell you the topic, are you going to call me? What's your challenges, problems, banging your head against the wall? I hate, my job. Just I'm making less money. Let's face it. Most people are working very hard for their money. I think, if not all, and having to do way more, and not. You don't feel it coming back to you, for all you put into it. Look, even this show, I'm like a machine lately. There's so many things going on in the background that you don't know that's going on, that to make this, because I am hell-bent on taking this to streaming network. I don't care if it's ABC or Netflix or Hulu or Yoohoo, Apple TV. There's too many places to go with nothing on it. And I'm telling you, if I can just get the budget to do what I want to do, I'm going to keep it interesting. And the jokes are free, and there'll be some stuff. There's going to be some good times, and there's going to be some bad times. I'm here to explore it all in a positive way. The problem is, most people, just don't understand yet. It's too early on, and a lot of people, because I store all my stuff, everything is on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, from April will be 3 years. April will be 3 years we started. We started with just podcasting. Everything's on iTunes. You can listen to stuff, except for all these news shows since the first of the year. We haven't put them up yet. I got some revamping to do. I just can't keep up. But the thing is that there's tons of great information on surviving divorce and single parenting. That's how it all started. Why, you ask? Exhibit A, Peter G. Went through hell, as far as I'm concerned, for 3.5 years of fighting for the greatest thing in my life, my daughter. I had to fight to be a father. I love being a father to this little girl. I just got off the phone with her minutes before we started this show. I always do, to tell her, Daddy's getting ready to do his little show. and I love you more than anything. And I'll see you in the morning, because I don't have her tonight. We have to split her up. This is what divorce does. Which, again, takes me to one thing that I've thought about through the week. I've missed when I was a homeowner, because I am no longer a homeowner. My ex-wife lives in our house, and it's a very nice house. I don't want to talk anymore. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so whatever it is. The thing was that every Saturday, my wife at the time worked, and on Saturdays, I was home. If I wasn't I quit traveling. I quit the touring stuff, so I was home more. So I had my 3-year-old daughter, 2-year-old, 3.5-year-old, whatever you want to, whatever year she was, and we did everything together. And if you own a home and you're a homeowner, you'll know that if you own a home, there's always something that needs being done. And I had 5 women in the house. The only other male that was in our house was a dog, and even he unfortunately died of cancer. And again, but I was the guy. I'm Mr. Fix-It. I'm kind of handy. And so every Saturday, I'd grab the baby. We'd go to Home Depot. It was Home Depot every friggin' Saturday. I swear, because I'm a handy guy. I'm kind of well versed. Not I have many qualities, but she always wanted to help when they're really, really young at that age. Like, they want to do it. They want to put the clothes in the dryer or the washing machine. You know what I'm talking about if you're a parent. So I had to get her a tool belt, and I went to Harbor Freight, and I bought her a tool belt, but she was so tiny, I couldn't make it small enough, so I had to snip the tool belt, and I hand-sewed the tool belt, and I made it to where it fit on her little bitty baby hips, And the problem was, though, I have motorcycles. At the time, I had 4, and I'd take them out I never even had time to ride them because we always had her. But if I did take it out, for some reason, she'd grab my tools, and I'm afraid she's going to scratch my bike or do something because she wanted to help, so I had to buy her these little Craftsman plastic tools from Kmart or wherever I got them from, and she had a tool belt. And I swear to God, by the time she was 3.5 years old, she knew what wire snips were, a crescent wrench was, give me a flathead, a Phillips screwdriver, because she wanted to be there and she wanted to help me. And she knew more then than she does now, and she's now 13. She just turned 13 in December. And That was so cool. She doesn't have to be a mechanical genius, but just the information that, I mean, they're such sponges at that age. It's so important. It's so important what happens. This is why I guess my point being, especially there's a lot of, if you feed that child a lot of shit in her head from the he said, she said, arguing, all that kind of stuff, you're going to do some damage as well, you know. So the thing was, I was doing good. She was just getting well-rounded, you know. Most kids these days can barely know how to put gas in a car. And I'm just the guy that knows. I learned how to change the oil in my car from my father, and I learned how to sew a button on my shirt from my mother, because I came from a generation who had parents that came through wars, that if you didn't know how to do it, you didn't have it. Period. End of story. And I'm very, very grateful for that, you know, and that's from hanging out with your parents because you're there because you're a child, right? So I was just thinking this week, it's like, since I don't live in our house, now I'm in a condo, I don't fix things like I used to. And now she's grown older, and she's kind of got her own thing with her horse and this and that, because she's very horse-minded and animals. I mean, her heart is huge. She's very focused. I got no complaints with her. I'm the luckiest man in the world. But those little things you put in there, it just helps round her out as a human being. And it's really, really important. And that's important to me. And I don't know, for some reason I was thinking about that. But here's the thing. Tonight's show and every single Sunday night, I'm going to be here. But there's a number, 818-259-7983. And I need somebody to call me and tell me what they're thinking, not what I'm thinking. You can watch all my stuff. It's all up on YouTube. Again, I don't want to be an internet YouTube star. It's not going to happen. Some of my stuff is too long. There's one-on-one interviews with people who talk a lot of really great information and common sense, and a lot of people need that. But in the meantime, thanks to my sponsors, Bolt Energy, electrify your senses, and it's tasty too. I sit here, and the thing was, I said, you guys believe in me. I'm going to build a show on Facebook of all places, and we're going to have a call-in show, and people are going to call in, and they're going to want to talk to us about stuff. And please, don't make me a liar. I mean, I have so much faith in what's going on with you, the audience, that I just need you to call. Tell me what's going on with you. Problems, not a big deal. You know what I mean? It feels good. Believe me, I am the guy. If it wasn't for me doing this, even if I wasn't doing this, I'd have a couple of sets of ears that I'd let the steam off of, because no matter how much I get kicked in the head, I keep pushing forward because I don't have a choice. It's either that or lose. And I don't like, I mean, it's not lose. I don't like losing. I'm not going to say I'm competitive, because I'm not. But just as a human being, I need to survive. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. I just want to know I can pay my bills, raise my child, have a relationship that I'm happy with, and life goes on. You know, before you know it, it's over. So, again, 818-259-7983. I'll drink to that. I'm very, very grateful. Anyway, so the time changes next week, and here we are. You know, it's going to start getting daylight savings time before you know it. Springtime, the weather's going to get better. I will be hanging down in the Gulf Coast. I love my beloved Gulf Coast area, Pensacola, Destin, Fort Walton, Gulf Shores, Alabama. Grew up there. I'm trying to figure out how to do some shows from there again, because I'll have to leave everybody behind and I'll be flying solo. But this is a pretty simple show to do. But I still, the bottom line is, I'm doing this for you guys, not for me. I can sit and talk to myself all you want. Dirk Schubert, I love you anyway. I'm getting something. Sorry, man, my internet is shitty. Can't watch your show. I don't know where you are. He's in Bali, I think. That's the dedication. You know what I mean? I got people all over the place, but they're willing to tune in because one way, shape, or form, I don't know. You know what I mean? There's some sense here, but it's going to be way cooler when you guys decide to start calling in. Now, I've had a few calls here and there, but again, it only takes, I need 2-3 calls max a show. It's only an hour show, people. Only an hour. So why not spill your guts? I mean, again, it's just between us. Just us. There's no shame in this. It's all good. But the thing is, I need you. Otherwise, I'm just talking, and I can talk, all the time. Let me see who was. See, it's my bad. I should have called this girl. This one girl. She might be crazy. She might not be. But I don't want to bet. I don't know. But she sounded like she'd be an interesting call, and I did not prep her. What else we got here? They handed me the list. Challenges. Okay. Who's feeling it? I really want to know who is feeling like they're getting. You just can't catch a break. Cannot catch a break. Oh, and last second, I did not load the elevator music. I told myself tonight, I felt good because last week was a challenge too. I don't know whether it was Grammy night, people were the Grammy parties, and I don't know. I can't expect a full house every night, and this is a challenge. Again, getting people to realize, hey, here we are. It is what it is, but I again, 1, 2, 3 out of the whole entire United States, Canada, I get people watching from the Philippines. I have people, believe it or not, from South Africa. There's, but the majority. I'm really basing this. No offense, world. I love you for what you're doing, but the TV show I'm striding to do is all about you guys. And it's all about the United States and Canada, or unless Netflix or one of these people decides to syndicate and go further. But everything I want to do, specifically for this genre, I'll take it one step at a time. But I can't do it without you. This show is a live show with call-in. Otherwise, I'll just sit here. I mean, I could do this. I don't have to do this live. I could pre-record this if I want to just preach. And I'm not really preaching. I'm sharing. Because believe me, I am, I'm not preaching. I'm just telling you how I feel at the moment, so you can take what you want with it and do what you want with it. I hope that there's some way, shape, or form, and a lot of people let me know after the fact. That's the whole thing. They let me know later on, what's going on with this whole deal, but. What they feel about what I said, and God, and so many people after the fact of the show through the week, because this regurgitates through Facebook and says, Peter, love what you're doing, I love your show, and I appreciate that, and I know it's hard because I'm on kind of late on a Sunday night in some parts of the country. It's only what time is it here, guys? It's almost 9 o'clock here. But the thing is, at 9 o'clock at night, it's 10, 11, 12 in the East Coast. And, some people have to go to bed. I totally understand that. But I stay up later than I should certain times. It's the way it is. If it's important to you, it's important to you. If not, and I get it. But at least they watch afterwards. They'll check out the show the next day, the next few days, whatever, portions of it, and they reply. And I start getting all this feedback. I really, just like Late Night with David Letterman and all these late night shows. Come on, those are late night shows, and those are all week long, and people stay up to watch those. So I'm just hoping that we can do that too as well. But calls. Who's calling? Call. Let's see. Call me when you get home. Who's going to call you when you get home? That's what I'm saying. People are texting me, and there's different pages. We're on the Peter G Show. We're on the Peter Gisellas page. We're on the Peter G Gisellas page. We're on LinkedIn. We're on the Twitter. It alerts you and all this. And then people hit the watch party. I need you to hit the watch party, share, then watch party, and it spreads out to your friends. Because, again, if you think I'm doing anything worth a shit, and don't do it if you don't think so, because, I want the true people. I'd rather have the true people than, it's not doing any good if you don't think it's worthy of. To me, I'm all about the cause. So you hit the share on your Facebook, and then it says, who do you want to share with? Your friends, blah, blah, blah. And it says, have a watch party, And I don't mean like a watch party, but it's a watch party. So you're sharing and going, hey, so-and-so is watching Life with Peter G live on the Peter G Show Sunday night. And then they get to, you have no idea who you might be helping, turning around somebody. Just if it's one, you did a good thing. You have no idea what goes on in the minds of even some of your closest friends. Because again, I'm living proof that some things have happened to people that I loved very much that you just, and they're no longer here, and you go, I don't get it, I just, who would have known? But things happen, okay? So that's why I'm saying I care. I care enough to spend an hour out of my life. Actually, this is what's really screwed up, this is the easy part of the show. The work is after this show is over, spreading it all week long, little clips, all this kind of stuff. It just doesn't happen. And preparing, I kind of prepare, but I really thought, and still do, because this is the goal, I'm going to rely on you to call 818-259-7983, just to call in and talk about what's going on with you. I can't say it enough. I will keep on saying that. One day, the levee will break, and all hell will break loose, and you'll call in, and you will talk to me, and you'll tell me what's going on. And again, I've been very fortunate. I've had a few calls through we're only on show number 9, okay, folks? That's not a lot. That's not a lot. This is a difficult situation. I get it. You guys are shy, but just pick up the phone. That's why I tell you, get a drink in you. Get a glass of wine, a beer, 2 beers, whatever. Just relax, and let's talk about it, because this is what I'm going to do, and I'm never going to stop. Let's see. My sponsor's telling me. What are you telling me, Chris? People, luckily he just posted on a page I can read. Lightly carbonated apple jelly rancher. So my sponsor's telling me that Bolt Energy tastes like an apple jelly rancher. Let me find that. I don't know. I just can't place it. I don't know. It's a good confusing. Because here's the deal. I can't exactly. He tells me that it tastes like an apple jelly rancher. I just say it tastes good. You know what I mean? It's palatable. It's those old monsters when they first came out, before they started coming out with 18 million flavors. They were, I don't know, they were just horrid to me. You drank them because you needed to, but they tasted like shit. Plain old simple. Maybe apple jelly rancher. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Is that what you were shooting for? Either way, I love my sponsors. I couldn't have the coolest people. Believe me, they're not of the normal cut, but their work ethic and is bar none, and that's why I say, you know what? If you ask for it in stores, if more than likely they might not have it because we're still growing. But if you keep on asking for it in stores, they will go. The store people will go to their beverage distributors and say, "What is this Bolt Energy I hear about?" And that's how it all begins. Okay, and that's how it starts. And again, I would not talk about something if I thought it was shit. I could care less. I'm at a point in my life that money is not everything. Peace is everything. When you've been to hell and back, all you want is peace. Yes, we all hope to be comfortable. I just want to pay my bills and stuff like that. I'm really honest with you guys. Believe me. Again, perception is so out of league when people think about Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. Everybody has a perception of Hollywood, and if you've actually come here, it's a whole different ball game. I had to learn when I first moved to LA, and it took a while, but things don't always appear as they seem in your mind. That's called that perception, and the key to your survival is to take whatever you think is happening and try to assess the reality and keep on adjusting. Just like this show, we first started several years ago. This was in the making 7 years ago. 7 years ago, July will be almost 8, because I came up with it in the summer of almost 8 years ago, and it took several years of just going through my mind and going, I really want to do this. How do we do this? And I had a partner. the beginning. If any of you have been around long enough, there's probably a few older videos. It was called the Jim and Peter Show. And Jim just called me, actually, recently, and I feel bad because I'm so freaking busy. He left a message. I had a hard time on the phone when we were partners in this show, and I got to give him a call back because I'm starting to get douchey about, just haven't returned his call, and I feel bad. I will get to it. The thing is, I'm busy. My life is, it's just bang, bang, bang. Sleep is a commodity. It's a luxury. But I started this show, and even as we did the show, I had this vision in my mind, and then as it took us so long to get this show off the ground because the vision was bigger than the reality could produce. Things cost money and or technical ability, all of the above, and locations and equipment, all of that. The talent, not so much. I mean, I just knew I was going to be me. And either you love me or you hate me, okay? And speaking of haters, and here I go all over the map again, sorry guys, but, I got a ton of those haters too. Some people just love to, they just want to watch you fail, and they're douchebags. And it's like, you know what, I don't care. I'm strong enough to know that there's a need to talk about certain things in life that nobody's really talking about. And I want to be that guy. And again, even when I started with Jim, we just the problem was we just kind of, I thought and it was good because I loved bantering with him because we're two goofballs, so with the jokes were good. But things just kind of got complicated a little more, and I had a different vision, and I was adamant about this, and we had to back it down, and we had to start with practically nothing. And we started with podcasting, by the way, Apple iTunes, Peter G. Show, podcasts. If you want to hear a bunch of stuff decent to listen to, I promise you, there's some really good stuff on Apple iTunes, The Peter G. Show, or Peter G. Show, whatever the hell it is, right? We're getting ready to revamp that, too. None of these new shows since the first of the year are on there, but there's got to be 60 shows on iTunes. You can listen, no, not 60, I take that back. At least 40. Because some of the short segment stuff that I have on YouTube, we didn't put on iTunes. But the interviews and things like that. If you in the car, you're on the go, you want to listen to some interesting stuff about love, family, surviving, divorce, and which so many of you have had to go through, or just I think just good information on your doing things with your kids and the change and the challenges. More so, there's more stuff on YouTube. I got these little series called In the Car that I did. I did these little parts of common sense on just organization when your kids go to school and getting their homework done. I mean, just things to do and things not to do. Time versus money. Again, I had somebody today, and I flat out told them, I go, you know what, I got to go. This isn't about money. I got to go. I said, my time with my child is worth way more than any dollar value. And she looked at me, she says, you're absolutely right. And I am right. And in my opinion, I'm right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Because my time, before you know it, they're grown. And whatever you constructed in that little mind, let it be known that they have outside influences too, but the deep inner core is done by you, good or bad. And I'm fully aware of that. And my goal was, because my divorce was a mess, it made me very crazy. I am lucky to be here and talk about it. And the thing is, when you're going nuts, I'm no genius, you know what I mean? I'm just a friggin' human being like anybody else, and I have feelings, and maybe, care more than others, or maybe not as much as others, whatever. The point being is that I feel I went through a good bit of hell and learned a lot from it, and somehow the only thing that mattered to me was making sure that little girl that I had was going to not get all screwed up because of the bullshit I had to go through due to divorce. And, because it's both sides. It's like, no matter what I do when I have her, there's also another side when she's with the mother. And even though we both love her very much, there's still, they hear everything. They're sponges. So that was a big deal, too. And I survived it. And she did very well, and she's doing very well. But that's why it's so important to me, because not everybody survives it. And there's so many people that I can talk about that haven't survived it, and they're dealing with screwed up kids, and you have nobody to blame but yourself because you got out of control, you weren't thinking straight, and you blew it. And now good luck trying to reel that all back in. Some of that stuff is irreparable damage. You just cannot repair that stuff because they're sponges. It is you're engraving. It's like chipping into stone. And good luck. What are you going to do? Fill it in? You can't. Those are things that people carry with them their entire life, and I think a lot of you can relate to that. Because I think if you haven't been in a divorce, you may be a product of divorce. You may be a child from divorce. And again, all these leave long-lasting memories. And yeah, you'll live. Everybody lives, but on different levels. And, you know what I mean? Could it have been better? You probably do. I mean, nobody, no matter what goes on, a child pretty much wants their parents together. I mean, I don't really talk to my daughter a lot about, do you wish we were still together and this and that. She's wired really old soul differently. I don't know. She's just okay with where we are. And again, because she's so loved by both of us. There's no doubt about it. And I don't know. So, but that's the level. You have to have it together. So I thought about doing that. And we started with nothing. And we started with iTunes, and I graduated into video, and then graduated into interviews with people, psychiatrists, psychologists, rock stars, or not rock stars, but very talented musicians, normal people, and it all evolved from there. And I'm going to do more of those shows, but my head is bigger, my budget is bigger than my ability. So I took a good look, and we talked, and we sat down, and I said, for this year, why don't we back it up a little bit more? And I just want to do a show that generalizes life's a bitch, and will open up a more broader range. And I'm telling you, believe me, in my opinion, I think I could talk to just musicians alone that are divorced, and what it's like to transition with being a single parent and being a musician, because everybody only sees the rock and roll or the jazz, the limelight of these people. Sports athletes, you name it. I could live alone if I had the budget to make sure that I can get the right people, go play miniature golf with Tiger Woods, and just talk about I don't want to dig into the dirt. It just comes out. But I want to talk about what the transitions are to, okay, it has to be weird. There's no way you're going to tell me, it was no big deal. It's a big deal. Love is love. If you have a fraction of a heart, love is love. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the positives, how you transition. And with the positive comes some of that, deep soul truth. But there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? We all go through it. The bottom line is, again, I've got some that are really heavy hitters on the YouTube channel. And some people were looking up these certain musicians, and they look up this musician because they're wanting to hear more music stuff, as if there's not 9 million interviews about how you hit an A chord or this and that. And the thing was, I take it back. There's probably a couple of douchebags but most people said, wow, I wasn't looking for this, but I can't believe how friggin' awesome it was to hear this famous person talk about being a real person. Because that's all you do. You see this person on a stage, and that's all you see, and you think their lives are great. Let me tell you something. Just because they're fortunate enough to be that person on a stage and be world-renowned, famous musicians, doesn't mean their heart doesn't bleed like your heart. We're all just people. And that was the cool thing. Now, I did get a couple of people, let's say 2 out of 100, I'm going to use that fraction, that had a couple of douchebags, and I swear it just blows my mind, because my show says, hey, if you're looking to hear about music, this is not the interview. I said, this is about surviving divorce and single parenting. But these people apparently can't even read either, and they were looking for these certain people, and they go, why would you ask these people these personal questions? It's like, hello, because I'm a personal show. We're talking about real life. And I let it go. But again, even my people that I do interviews with, as you get to that level, they never watch their own interviews because it can go, really good or really bad. So they quit watching them. But I'm very proud of them. And that's why I said, okay, I'm going to do stuff like this. 818-259-7983. All you have to do is call that phone number and tell me what's eating at you. I don't care if it's like, I'm killing myself at my work, and I just can't look. And I can easily tell you the same shit, but you don't want to hear it from me. I don't care if you're having relationship problems, your mother-in-law, you're fighting illness. I have some people that I'm very close to, and talk about fighting battles with some illnesses. My heart goes to them because I can't even imagine. I just, we take it for granted, our health, but these are things that, like, you either fight or you die. And you give up. And life, I love life. I mean, I hope I can live to be, my mother passed away at 93. I still have a 92-and-a-half-year-old father right now who I watch like a hawk from 2,000 miles away. I'm talking, thank God for cameras and technology, and I watch and he still drives, folks, so he's on the road. So if you're in the Gulf Coast area, watch out, okay? Okay, because he's still there. But I'm very thankful. I still have him. But I want to be that guy. I became a late father. I'm not a late father. I'm an old dad, but I'm a good old dad. I had my daughter at 44 years old. First baby. And maybe I'm a better father for that. I don't know. I don't know what I would have been at 20 years old. I just don't know. And I see a lot of people, they say, well, if I have kids, I want to be I want to be young so I can keep up with them. So far, I have no problem keeping up. You know what I mean? People think I'm nuts. I'm the guy who's always whistling and singing goofy songs, but that's who I am. It's just who I am. And they think, just today, somebody says, I was walking by and they go, wow. I go, what wow? They go, you got way too much energy. Love you too, Buttons. Look at that. I can see we're really slow tonight. So I can actually read screens. But so somebody said to me, you got way too much energy. I said, you think so? And she said, yeah. And I go, it's not always that way. I mean, I'm tired too. I run. I have to run. But the thing is, the alternative is to stop. And I don't want to stop. There's just too much life I want to have. In fact, after getting kicked in the nuts from my downfall of, divorce and separation, and again, and this is why I talk about it, it's been a hell of a climb back to being somewhat at a level where I was happy. You don't realize how much damage gets done until after it's done. And then after that, good luck recovering, because the world has gotten tougher too. So it's a bitch. And that's why I say 818-259-7983. For the love of God, or for the love of this show, or whatever, all I need is, I want you to tell me what's going on with your life. I mean, whatever. Hey, and I know it was Mardi Gras down in the Gulf Coast, my beloved Gulf Coast, which, again, I'll be spending more time. My sponsors are down in New Orleans right now, and had it not been for them, I would not be here, Bolt Energy. But that's the thing. They're out there pushing. They're having a good time too. I'm a little bit jealous. I wish I could be broadcasting live from that area, which in time, I think basically in June or so, we'll be doing some shows from down there, because I will be down there. I like spending time with family and friends. But in the meantime, this is where we're at. And this is what I'm doing. So they're out doing their thing. I'm here doing my thing. But the bottom line is, I need you to do your part and call me. 818-259-7983. Once again, I had the half a dozen people who, personally, they go on my IMs, because this is the thing about Facebook, and they say, oh, I'm going to call you. Oh, yeah, last week I was really busy. I was doing this or doing that, and I'm going to call you, and here we are. They forgot. But again, the more we do this, I want everybody to know, like clockwork, I'm going to be here every friggin' Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific, 10:30 Central, and 11:30 Eastern, and I'm going to do this. We're going to do this because it's a big world out there. Canada and the United States is very important to me. And I'm very thankful for people in the Philippines, and last week especially, I got a whole bunch of people in the Philippines and England and Norway and this and that. I love them too, and I'm very thankful. because it's morning hours for them over there, and they're watching. But when it comes to streaming network and the people I'm trying to prove my point to, these streaming network media, channels, that there's something there, I need your support. I need you to hit the watch party, the share button, and where it says share, then it says who do you want to share with, and it says start a watch party. And I need you to hit that button and start the watch party to go to your friends, because that's the only way we're going to grow. I chose Facebook to do this show because I believe that there's tons of people on Facebook that are old enough, that have been through enough stuff in their lives that they can relate. The biggest thing about Instagram, my highest, when you start doing analytics, it's 25 to 35. People, let me tell you something. At 35, you're just starting to go through a little bit of hell. You haven't lived until you've gone to hell and back, and it kind of reshapes you as a human. Hopefully for the better, because a lot of people call it quits, and you can't. You have children that depend on you, and that's why I need you to do that. So if you're on Facebook watching me, that's why I chose this. I'm treating this like a TV channel, which nobody really does. So I kind of dig it. I'm that guy. I'm going to go left. Number one, I'm left-handed, but I'm not going to do what everybody does. I'll make my own friggin' channel before I say this is it. It ain't going to happen. You know what? Because, again, won't be the first time. Ask the dude from Amazon, okay? It happens. But you go to the share button on Facebook, and it says, what do you want to do? And it says, start a watch party. If you have any feelings for me whatsoever and think I'm anything worth a shit, every Sunday night when you're watching me, if you're watching me, you hit the share button and then hit the start a watch party. And share it with the people that are on your friends list. Because, again, I can't say it enough, you have no idea. And I mean, you really don't know what's going on in other people's lives, even when you think you do. And if I can bring something to them through you, you've done a good thing, okay? But the big deal is I need you to call that number, 818-259-7983. Please, talk to me. I don't care if you say, hey, if you tell me I suck, tell me why I suck, I'm listening. I'm always, I can always use improvement. This is I have a rounded structure when I sit down and do this. I think about it through the week, and then I sit down the last 2 days before it, and I start saying, okay, I'm going to touch on this. Some of it may sound repetitive to you guys, but you got to understand, there's new people coming in all the time. And until we get the phone calls, the phone calls are going to bring the difference in what's going on. I just need you to call. It's really simple. 818-259-7983. Thank you, Bolt Energy, for making me or allowing me to have that number. And hey, God bless America. Let's see who's on the phone. Hi, you're with Life with Peter G. Who's this?
Hey, this is Todd down here in Pensacola, Florida.
Hi, Todd. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you want to bitch about?
Well, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
And you hit it just about right. At least from where I'm at, I want to say just about every friend I have has been through a divorce, and it's just like you were saying earlier. It's like people just give up so easily.
Sure.
And just the thing they want to do is just call it quits. And I hate to see people just give up on a built up relationship they've had for so long, and it's sad,
It is. What's your situation? You married, single, divorced?
Well, honestly, I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been married for 31 years.
And Gold Star.
Gold
Star.
Yeah, and of course, all the divorces. That's pretty sad. But
it is sad.
Also, a few things that I see around is people that have a couple of children, and of course, they put their children through hell, and And then I see a few people that just don't even seem to care for their children.
Well, that's a whole nother story. Then they're the douchebags. I mean, a lot of
Absolutely.
a lot of people do it unintentionally because you're just so. It's things you've never experienced before, and it just comes out, and they're there. You know. But the ones that don't give a shit, they're not listening to my show. They never will. You know. They're and they're the ones I honestly douchebags. But if I can save one, or not even save one, but help one come around, because sometimes you realize after the fact. But that's the sad part of it. And then these children grow up to be adults with baggage.
Yep, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
It's a bitch. You're in Pensacola, you say?
Yeah. In fact, I don't want to take too much of your time, but of course, I remember always coming to see your band, The Pilots.
Get out of here.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, I love you.
And of course, while you guys were kind of playing all over the place all the time, I was preparing. I'm a musician too.
Okay.
And I was preparing myself at that time, and it seemed like I just got into the clubs and started playing, and I guess you guys had disbanded.
We're not friends, are we?
Well, for some reason our path has never crossed, or I've seen you a few times. What you might remember this? I started a band called Night Crew, and I had Ken Burdett, and also had Mark Steinzik.
It's a long time ago, yeah, man.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. We played the Bottle Club, and we did that for a long time. And I got tired of playing the Bottle Club, and they didn't want to get out of there, so I started
cut your teeth in those places,
Yeah, so I started another band called Big Picture, and I did.
Oh, Todd, I know who the hell you are. Don't make like you don't know me. I know you. Come on, I was waiting to see, because I'm going, Todd. I don't know a whole lot of Todds I got, in Pensacola, but I know exactly who the hell you are, man. I love you. We didn't.
Awesome.
It's not like we hung out all the time, but the thing is, we had a lot in common.
Absolutely.
All our friends were your friends and my friends.
Yep.
Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate that. I mean, again, it takes. See, here's the problem with this show, and they told me, because I have an inner circle of people that are way bigger than me and things like that, and they're going, this is not going to be easy. People, until you get to a certain breaking point, it's really hard to get people to call in, and you're doing it on Facebook. This has not been done. And stupid me, I'm just the one who says, you know what, I can do it. So here we are. I didn't recognize the voice, buddy. I haven't heard you talk to you in a long time, or I can't even remember the last time I seen you. But maybe one of the musicians' memorials. I'm not sure.
It might have been, yeah.
I want to say I thought I saw you in about 2011, maybe because that's the last musician memorial I played, and it was at Seville.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, again, I appreciate you getting the balls enough to call in and do this, and at least call and say something. But again, gold star. How many years married?
31 for me.
Well, see, again, this show is a little bit offbeat. I wanted to do a spin-off from where I really want to do, but this is, you can bitch about anything, but you just happen to call in about that, and it is sad, because everybody I turn to or talk to, everybody's got a story. There's always something going on, bad, not necessarily good. They learn to live with it, some better than others, but you have kids, you said?
I've got one child.
One child. How old?
And you were mentioning earlier how quick it goes. Yeah. It literally seems like yesterday my child was, like you were talking about a while ago, helping you with the tool belt and the tools. Yeah. Well, my kid was just like that, what seems like yesterday, and he's now 31 years old,
See, and I was so busy when I moved out to L.A., and it was always tomorrow. Plus, it's like, who do you want to have a child with? And, I have no regrets having the child with the mother that I married. It's just things, it was a challenge, but things just didn't go the way I don't think anybody ever gets married. There are some really stupid idiots that just let's get married, but right. I don't think anybody gets married hoping to go through hell in a divorce. And when that stuff starts happening, just all kinds of shit, people get in people's ears, and you just start doing stuff because you're out of, I don't know.
Yep.
And it's sad. But, yeah, it is. And this is what I'm going to talk about. Not only this on this show, I'm going to start having topics. But right now, until I I only need 2 or 3 phone calls every Sunday night. But I am going to be here every Sunday night. Like clockwork.
You hang in there.
Well, you believe me. When I commit to something, when I moved from Pensacola, I talked about it a year and a half before I ever moved, because I said, when I say something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There was other musicians that we both mutually knew back then that left Pensacola and saying, screw this town and fuck this town and, this town. and they moved away to L.A. and all of a sudden they came back, like, quietly. And that, and I said, that's not going to be me. I'm telling people I'm going to move, and I never said I'd screw this town. I love that area. I'm bi-coastal. I want to be back and forth even more. It's been a little bit harder now since my divorce because I'm kind of tied. I have a daughter, and I stay here when she has school, and I just don't have a private jet to jump on and just pop back and forth. But I'm getting there. And that's what it is. I love that place. I love everybody in that place. And I'm going to be doing shows from that place. And I have done. Yeah, so that's it. We're kind of running out of time. You waited till the last minute of the show, but I appreciate you doing it, period. And please, again, if you think there's anything worthy of this whole deal, hit the watch party stuff and share it, because there's people out there that you probably don't even know that need to hear something to give them a little grounding, because most people aren't thinking clear when they're all fucked up. And I
sure will.
That's it. Todd, I truly appreciate it, because I got to get out of here. It is 9:30, and they're giving me it's 11.
All right.
Yeah, but I love you.
We all miss you down here. So when you come into town, make sure you try to say hello to as many of us as you can.
Brother, look, there's only one of me. That's the hard part. But I do, and I go down to, had it not been for me doing a really rough version of this with New York Nick down in his place back in July, I wouldn't be doing this now. It kind of like I guinea pigged in his place, and I'm pretty social. This is what I do, Facebook and this and that. I tell people, but I just can't get everywhere. It's hard for me to see my relatives over there, let alone everybody. And I still hang out, even at more so than most people that live there, because they live there and I try to get out and see people. It's almost impossible, but, always good to see whoever I can see. Richard Campbell, will when he comes in town, I say, hey, I'm in town. You coming in, and.
Yep.
Whether it's a gallery night or whatever, just for a hug and a beer, and we're good. So believe me, I am no ghost. Yeah.
All right.
Listen, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it for at least breaking the ice tonight and calling in. And
you bet.
Keep on again. If you do catch me on Sunday nights, please share it. All right, because I'm not here just to talk to myself. I really feel that I need to do something for somebody.
You got it, man.
All right, I love you for it. Thank you very much.
All right, man.
All right, you have a good night.
All right, later on, Peter.
All right, Todd, thank you.
Bye.
Whoa, blast from the past. He didn't even want to tell me who he was. Just Todd. Todd called from Pensacola, Florida. I know a lot of people. When you play in bands most of your life, you're all over the place. And maybe I don't know you, but they know me. But that was cool. So... Again, 31 years of marriage, and that was it. I'm out of time. They've given me the you're out of time shit. We've already run 2 minutes over. Again, I want to thank everybody who at least watched. A couple of people for the texting and chiming in. I'm here every Sunday night. I'm not backing down, people. Not backing down. Look at this face, okay? I am who I am. I'm going to do what I'm doing. Either you love me or hate me. Hopefully you'll dig and get it, because I'm just not here to hear myself. I love it. I feel there's a reason why I was put on this earth, and even though I thought I had a reason years ago, my reason is even deeper now. It's just different. We evolve. So please, see you next Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. This show regurgitates on Facebook. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube in a day or so, and it's on demand on YouTube. Don't forget about the iTunes podcast. I'm kind of all over the place if you want me, okay? But the big purpose of this show is for calling in. Don't let me. I mean, I can do pre-recorded shows and interviews any day of the week. I really want to do this with you. I want to hear from you, okay? It's really important to me because I think it's going to be really important to you in the long run. We just have to build this bitch, all right? That's it. Not much more to say besides thank you, thank you, thank you. And once again, last time around, thank you to my, where are we, guys? Thank you to my sponsors, Bolt Energy, for allowing me to be here. Electrify your senses. Ask for it in stores. Ask for it in stores because they're growing. They're going to be all over the place because they're that kind of a sponsor. All right? I wouldn't have done this if I didn't love what they do. So thank you. That's it. See you next week. And peace out. I love you guys. Don't take no shit from nobody.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.